So welcome to our What is Coaching event. If you are not a coach on this, you had a coach that invited you on here, so we're excited to have you on and learning a little bit about what we do as coaches. We're going to tell a little bit about ourselves as well, and then kind of hit some of those hot topics, those questions that most people ask or concerns that people have. So my name is Sarah Boldman. I've been a Team Beachbody coach for 2.5 years, and it started as a business for me that was for a little bit of extra money, and now it's become a livelihood. It's been a game changer for our family. It's financially helped us in many ways, and I will go more into that later into the call. But that's who I am. And then we have some other individuals that are going to be joining us or that are going to be sharing their story and a little bit of information, that some questions that you might have. So Christy Vugtefien is going to be on the call as well. She's a Diamond coach. She's been a coach for a couple of years as well, more actively coaching the last year. We have Kim Sink. You've been about a year as well, somewhere around there. Sarah Bry is on the call as well, and she's been a coach for about a year. And we're hoping Alyssa Wardy will be on. She's traveling right now, so we're not sure if she's going to be on at some point, but maybe we'll see her face. But that's okay. So anyway, so the four of us are going to share some topics. And just as like a preface here, I want to share with you that part of the Team Beachbody coaching opportunity has not just been about our fitness. It's not just been about making money. It's also created some friendships, which has been really cool. Like, I reach out to some of these girls more than I might reach out to someone in my day-to-day life, because you're involved with them so much, and we all have similar sort of aspirations, and obviously we have similar interests, and so that's a really cool bonus. Just want to put that in there. So there's some really great girls on this call. So anyway, I'm going to go first, and the first one I'm going to hit, the topic that we're going to talk about is I'm not a salesperson. So I get that objection from people, and I know other people get that as well. It's a common concern, and that was one of my concerns before I became a coach. Is like, I'm a school social worker. That's what I do on a day basis. Obviously, I do nothing with sales at school on my day job, so I have no skills in that area. And I know a lot of people are like, that's not me. That's nothing I want to do. I have no interest in being the icky salesperson. And our response to that is good. We don't want you to be a salesperson, because what do you think of when you think of a salesperson? You think of someone who is pushy and trying to sell you something and trying to get you to do something that makes you feel possibly uncomfortable. So as Beachbody coaches, we want you to do the exact opposite of that. And Sarah Bry, she did this topic a few months ago. She said, we're not salesmen, we're sharesmen. And I like that, because what we're doing is there's no quota, there's no expectations every month. Yes, we have certain goals we want to hit every month, but there's no, like, Beachbody's not saying you need to sell this many P90X or this many T25s or this many 21-day fixes. There's none of that. What we do is we share what we're doing. We share what's working for us. I mean, I'm not going to promote something that I'm not really keen on, honestly. And there are programs that I'm not super excited about, so I don't share about it because they don't work for me. But it might work for somebody else, and they might share about it. I share about things that work for me, and it's just about kind of sharing the lifestyle. And we want you to be authentic to who you are, not to who the next person is. So one of the things that us as Beachbody coaches we do is we have our own stories. We have our own backstories as to where we got to where we're at. We might have a story as to what the transformation did for us. So we learn, and we have all the resources for you. We learn different ways to share our stories, and how getting involved with the coaching opportunity or with the fitness program or with the whole, the whole opportunity altogether has changed our lives. Because for each of us, I can say, It's changed us in more ways than one, but for each of us in different types of ways. So we learn ways to share about that and just be honest. And just like if you go to a really fantastic restaurant, like I went to a great restaurant a couple weeks ago. And actually one of the coaches in here, her brother owns at Bridge Street Social in DeWitt. And I was like, I love it. I was telling everyone about it. It's a great restaurant in DeWitt. Like, I'm excited to take my husband there. Super excited. So I loved it. So naturally, what did I do? I went and told people about it. I put it on social media, and I already had people like come to me like, oh, I'm going to go check that restaurant out, So it's kind of like what we do here as Beachbody coaches is we share things that we're excited about. And so that's kind of our response to that. And as I said before, as coaches and as a team, we work together. You're not on an island when you become a part of our team. And I feel like our team has been solid in that area. We have a lot of great women on here that offer different strengths, and we all kind of pool our resources together, and we work a lot together to help each other out with different areas, because there's certain things I'm really strong in. Christy's really strong in other areas. Sarah's really strong in other areas. April's really strong in other areas. Kim's, you know what I mean? So like we work together as a team. And so hopefully that helps alleviate any concern in that area. So Christy is the next one that's going to present. She's going to share a little bit about herself, and then the topic or the question that some people say is like, I'm not at my goal weight. I'm not where I want to be. And she's going to talk to you a little bit about that. So here's Christy.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. So I began with Beachbody, I would say almost 3 years ago. T25 was my first program that I did, and I really liked Shaun T. But I just kind of didn't see the value in Shakeology, didn't really stick with it. And then 21 Day Fix came around, and a friend of mine actually was friends with Sarah and had said, let's do this together. And I was getting ready for my sister's wedding and did not want to be the big old sister up there not looking the greatest. So I did 21 Day Fix and lost the last 10, 15 pounds. Actually, I think it was maybe 20 overall that I had wanted to lose, and really felt like the 21 Day Fix nutrition plan was livable. Okay, not a diet. And I think a lot of people think that we need to diet all the time. So I've stuck with that for the last couple of years and done other programs. I, for the first year, did not consider myself a coach working the business, I guess. And Sarah just kept inviting me and asking me and, encouraging me to make it more of a full-time thing or, work the business, because when I would put it out there, some months would hit Success Club 10, and you'll learn about that more later, but without even really trying. So she's like, you can do this. And she was right. So last year in July, I decided to go for it, and it has been a great year. So my thing with you're not at your goal weight, right now, I'm not at my goal weight. And I've been honest with my challengers about it. And that's kind of what my biggest thing right now for getting back on track in September is, to hold me accountable. I want people to help me, and I want to help them along the way. So I think we as coaches are there to help each other and help others get results. And if you're sitting there at your goal weight, looking like Barbie and perfectly toned body, they might not want to join you because it's not realistic for them. So, when I'm posting some of my videos and I mess up and I don't do the move correctly, people relate to that because you're not perfect, and they feel like they have a lot to do or lose weight wise, things like that. So they don't want to follow someone that's not, perfect. So that is one thing that I have found, that challengers, they like you walking right alongside them and being realistic about the journey and relating to them about it. You know, when you can't relate to them, then they don't really want to do it with you. Okay. Some of the people that we have as challengers are doing this, and it's such a struggle because they don't have the other support. So they really need you to be able to be reliable and relatable to them. Also, with there being so many different programs, it's important for us to be able to kind of relate and have done other programs like 21 Day Fix, T25, tried some of the Beachbody programs that we can have a little bit of knowledge to help them with. Sorry, the sun is like all of a sudden coming through my window. I'm like on the spotlight. But that's one of the reasons why I kind of like the Beachbody On Demand. Sorry about that. Because I have tried a couple other programs with that, so then I can share with others. But that's one thing about being with this team, is that we can take someone's health issues. They have a bad knee, or they have bad hips, or they're just can't lift weights, things like that. And if we haven't done the program, you can reach out to the team and say, hey, I've got this challenger who has this, what would you suggest, kind of thing, and bounce ideas off of each other. So that's another great thing about our team, is that we're super helpful. And, if you haven't done the program, you can still give them knowledge on that program. Can you shut the blind, please? So I think that's pretty much it. Really, people want somebody who's relatable. There we go. People want somebody who's relatable and realistic with them. So make sure that you are not trying to promote a product that, maybe you don't fully believe in. So I think with Beachbody, it's super important because we all love the programs. And lately I've had so many people saying to me, I love the shakes. And I know there's times that we go through it and we're like, oh, they didn't like it, and I guess that's with anything. But when you truly believe in the programs and in the shakes, and you've gotten results and you share about it, people want to do what you're doing. And that's really all that we do, is we share what works for us and what works for our team, and we help each other along the way. So that's kind of what I feel, kind of with that sharesman or whatever, it's a salesman, as far as being a coach. I never coached any athletics or anything like that. So I think this is a totally different type of coaching, and I teach. So it is teaching people things, but it's been fun, and I think that it's worth checking out if you are interested.
Yes, and I think one of the biggest things that you said too is just like that community of support is so key. There's so many people out there that are working through whatever they're working through emotionally or physically or financially, and they feel alone, and this community of support, really, it does make a difference. And because you're there to pick someone up when they're struggling. And for us too, like you said, you're maybe you said you're not at your goal. I'm definitely not at my goal weight because I just had a baby and things like that. And it's so nice to see, and people love relatable people. That's what we are, because we're just normal everyday people, and that's part of like being a sharesman. I think, Sarah, you need to like what is it called where you whatever you're saying anyway.
Yeah.
Great. So next is Kim's going to share. Kim Sink is next. She's going to share the question where people are like, well, I don't know what to post. I'm not big into posting, that kind of thing. So she's going to talk a little bit about that and tell us a little bit about herself as well.
Unmute. Okay. Hi, you guys. So I'm Kim Sink, and first of all, let me just tell you, like, I'm really nervous. So I just had to share that because this is my first time going, participating live in a What is Coaching call, and I'm just excited about it. So thanks so much for being here. I am a school counselor and a mom of 3 and a Beachbody coach. And a little bit about my story is that it started a little over a year ago. So I think it was July 27th was my first 21-day challenge group. I was doing the program 21 Day Fix Extreme. And I think I had my first friend sign up to join me. I think it was like August 31st. So I had a good solid, month, with the program. And it was interesting because it was just what I needed at that time of my life. And because I set a goal to start a program and finish it, I started to have some results. And so it was a really easy, normal, natural conversation to have, because people would say, what, Kim, you're looking great, or what are you doing? And so it was really easy for me to say, well, I'm doing the 21 Day Fix Extreme. And I just shared it that way. And so anyway, I started talking to my friends and my family about it, and it was pretty simple. And I think part of it was I was in this first leg of my journey, kind of like Christy was talking about. I was nowhere near my goal. I was nowhere near, I was just starting. And so the fact that I was just sharing it with family and friends kind of felt safe, and it felt easy. So, but they were interested. I mean, they were interested in what I was doing. And so I asked them, hey, I want you on my journey with, I didn't even say that. I said, do you want to do it with me? Like, I need some help. I need some, accountability. And so they did. And that's how it kind of all began. The reason why I chose this particular topic, the posting, and the kind of the fear of not knowing what to post, because it has been the hardest thing for me. And so I chose this topic on purpose because it's really been this evolving thing. And I would be silly to say like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have just struggled the last year, like getting this. But I am happy for my struggle, because I think throughout this last year, well, one, I have learned a lot about myself. But 2, I realized like when we're fearful of like putting ourselves out there, it's really because we're worried about what others are going to think. And we're worried about, am I selling, the topic that we talked about. And so I think that it took me that long to really just have a mindset shift, really. And my key thing that I took away or, have learned is that this is not about me. Like this is not about me. Like, so when I finally could like jump over that hoop, like I feel so liberated because like I'm here because I want to help people, and it's keeping me accountable, and it's keeping me healthy and happy. And so when I finally got over that hump about it's not about me, I could simply just share. I'm not selling, I'm sharing. And just like Sarah said, if I, find my awesome pair of running shoes that I've been running in for years, I am going to share those because they're badass and I love them and they help me to be a better runner. So I wanted other people to know that. And so I have found this like secret, this game changer in Beachbody. I mean, like the programs, like, dude, they work. Like when you start and finish them, they work. And this concept of like taking this $1 billion company who has this amazing brand, who has great results, and then taking us, like these everyday people that like are totally working together, and they bring us together in this community to like share this like mission and value. Sarah, how cool is that? Like, do you know that the obesity rate is like 70%? 70%. we all have these family members that are hurting, are in pain. Their health is sacrificed by what they're doing. And we have the secret sauce, like in our hands, like right here. And so if we can just get over ourselves, that this is not about us, we can just make magic happen. And so anyways, I know I'm getting long here, but I really want to share just really 3 things, big aha moments, and how posting became easier for me. And that was, 1, I'm sharing, I'm serving, I'm not selling. And so I'm just documenting my journey. And if that means I'm documenting my fitness journey, if that means I'm just documenting, my nutrition and how that is really hard for me, but I'm working at it. And if I'm, documenting this unfiltered life, like, Christy talked about, that's easy. Like, that takes the pressure off, like I made it so bigger than it was. Like, when I simplified it and said, like, I don't have to be saying something magical, like that's going to make somebody, I don't know, to Jesus. Like, that is not like, it's not that big of, like, it's not that huge. Okay. So just documenting this unfiltered life, just being real and authentic, like that's what people care about and want to see. And then being you, like that's another tip, like just being you, because as coaches, and as people thinking about coaching, we're watching those that have gone on before us and we're like, oh, they're so good. Oh, they just know what to say and they just have it all right and their images are perfect. Like, oh my gosh. So if we can like take ourselves out of, this being about me and me being perfect, and finding me, like finding you, that is so key. And I think that's what the beautiful part of this whole coaching experience is this isn't just about physical transformations. This is about like learning about yourself and becoming more confident. And so when you are just being you and you can just post that, that is how you connect. And here's the thing. Social media is the biggest platform that we have to do this. That's why we do it. It's not a bad thing. Like, social media is not the evil devil. And every time people talk about that, that's the naysayer. That's the somebody that doesn't understand the mission and the purpose and the vision of what it is that we're doing and how we've been affected. So social media is the platform. It's like reaches the masses. And so if we can use that, why not, right? That's what we want to do, is we want to share that and not overcomplicate things. So I know that was a lot, but that's really been my biggest thing. And I'm kind of starting to come out of it a little bit. So I just want to share that you too can really benefit from even just something that you're uncomfortable doing. So thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Kim. I love it. I think your passion is like the biggest piece that like gets you. And I think for all of us too, it's like your passion, where your heart is and where your intentions lie, that's gonna show itself. And that's part of like being you. Don't be somebody else, so I think that was awesome. All right. So Sarah Bry is going to share next about time, because a lot of women, most women on this earth are very busy. We all are very busy. So she's going to talk about I don't have enough time or time management. Let's see. I can't hear you. Let me see if I can unmute you. It says you're unmuted, Sarah.
Yeah, me now.
Yeah.
No. You can't hear me. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, okay. Amen. After Kim's. Oh my God. My success partner. So, okay, you guys can hear me? Okay. Time management. It's funny that I get to talk about this one because that was my biggest hang up. Will I have enough time? So I'm Sarah Bry, and I've been a coach for about a year, and I got into Beachbody. Geez, I may get emotional too, just because it's August. I signed up in July, and I knew I was going to coach because I needed the health benefits that were coming with that I knew I would get from Beachbody, and I needed it financially. So I was newly divorced and on the verge of losing my house, and I was like victim, woe is me, not eating, depressed, anxiety, like the whole thing. And I know it could have been worse. I had a great support system with family and friends, but I felt like I was at rock bottom. I have another job. I'm a full-time teacher, which is an awesome. I'm going to plug my dog scratching the door just a second. Sorry. So I'm a full-time teacher, which is also great, but I do that full-time. I have 3 kids. They're 11, 9, and 7, and they're all active. And I'm on my own at home. So, yard work and kitchen and snow blowing and running kids around and errands, it's completely me. So I felt there wasn't a lot of time. And when I really look at it, and I knew health was a priority, and anyone who says health is not a priority is lying. In my opinion, it is a priority, I think, for everyone. We're just not sure how to get started. So when I really looked at, and I would think, oh, I don't have time, I think instead of saying that, I started asking myself, is it a priority? And I knew my health was a priority, and I knew my kids were a priority, and I knew Beachbody and supporting them was a priority, and I knew Beachbody would give me both. So I think as far as that, is asking for time management and thinking, do you have enough time? The first thing I'd ask yourself is your health a priority? And if your answer is yes, then you have the time. You find the time. We all have the same 24 hours. And what's cool is our team is made up of women, a lot of women and a few men who work full-time. They're full-time moms. They have full-time jobs. And everyone is busy. And my time management and organization has actually improved dramatically because I have role models. I mean, Sarah Goldman, who's leading our call, is a master at time management and organization. And she will tell you she works this business an hour every day. An hour a day. You can do it in an hour a day. So if your health is a priority, you have the time. The second thing I would ask yourself is, are you already using the programs? Because if you're already in a challenge group and using the products and the programs, and you're already kind of sharing and talking about it with family, or you're interacting in your challenge group, you're coaching. You may not think you're a coach, but you're already coaching. You're already lifting people up. And that's what coaching is about, lifting others up and supporting them. So I would say that's a big thing too. 2 questions to ask yourself. If your health is a priority and you love the Beachbody products, then why not coach? And you don't have to be, there's 3 types of coaches. If you just love Shakeology, you could purely be a discount coach. You don't have to work at all. I have, my dad is a discount coach. He doesn't do anything except drink the Shakeology. So it's really whatever your goals are, and those goals might change. You can start out slow. You can start out by trying to help 3 people a month and get your Shakeology paid for. You can start out and say, I'm all in, and I want to learn as much as I can. How you can do as little and as much as you want. there's no pressure. Like Sarah said, there's no quota. There's no quota to fill. You don't have to have so many sales. It's whatever you want to put into it. So I think time is actually, I think what underlies when people say I don't have time, I just think they're fearful. I think they're fearful of, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to fail, and or it's going to be hard work. And I'm just telling you that you will have the time if it's a priority. The other great thing, and then I'll end on this because I think our time is winding down, is that there's so much support. We do a lot together. So if I don't have time and I'm running a challenge group, Kim and I run them together. Everyone on this call that is already coaching, we run trainings together. We help each other's coaches out. So you're not alone. You don't have to feel, it's not like me going to my teaching job and I'm in my classroom and I'm doing it all on my own. There's so much support that I think it eases any pressure you have with completing tasks, because you really do work together. It's awesome. The team is unbelievable. I said I was going to end on that, but I have one more thing to say. And this really hit me in July when I came back from Summit, the big Beachbody convention that is absolutely amazing. If you think you don't have the time, then you need to do this job, because this is the one job I can think of for myself that I love, that down the road will afford me time. It will give me time and financial freedom. And how many jobs can do that? My teaching job doesn't do that. My teaching job doesn't give me time or freedom. It gives me time in the summer, but that's it. Even if you have high-paying jobs, do you have a surgeon? Do they have the freedom of time? No, they don't. This is one job where you can advance, and if you put everything you had into it, you down the road, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you will have both financial freedom and time. So if you don't have time now, you need to do this. You need to at least look at it, and don't close the door. You need to at least look at it. And they say all successful people don't ever say no. They never say no the first time. They always look at it and give it a try. I mean, what have you got to lose? That's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Good job, Sarah. That was a good point. It's true, because that's what I'm doing. Is I know I'm incredibly busy, 4 kids, full-time job, all that kind of stuff. Is I know my what's that? Am I unmuted? Okay.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. Is that putting the time in now is going to make it so that I don't have, you know what, I think someone's not muted, is so that I don't have this crunch of time, you know, in the next year. You know, that's the goal. I'm going to talk a little bit about money. We only have about 3.5 minutes left, so I'm going to make it quick. But obviously, that's usually a question people have, is how do you make money in this business? That was something that was important for me. Obviously, now, you know, it's definitely on my mind, because I'm looking to, you know, I want to quit my job in the next year, and do it in a very safe manner, because I have family. You know, I have to make sure that we're all in a good place financially. But I can say, that the income potential is very big. And I'm not saying this to brag or anything like that, but like Sarah said, like my first year of the business, I did 1 hour a day, no more. And even now, some days, you know, on the weekends and summer, I'll spend a little bit more, but during the school year, 1 hour a day is about all I got. And the income I'm making with Beachbody is about double than I make at my 40-hour-a-week job, which is insane to me. So just have to put that out there, that it is possible with the supports and all of that. So one of the things people ask is like, I'm not a salesman. You know, we talked about that. The commission is a piece obviously you're going to make 25% commission. And in the beginning, that is where you're going to make a good portion of your money. But as you grow your team, that's going to slowly become smaller and smaller as to where you are making your money. But you do get 25% commission, and you get a 25% discount. Obviously, if you're a discount coach, you already know that. You get 50% commission on all club memberships, that's that Beachbody On Demand. So when someone signs up for On Demand, you get 50% commission, which is nice. There's some other little bonuses you get along the way, but one of the biggest things that as you advance your business is what we call team cycle bonus. And basically what Beachbody does is they reward you for how well your team is doing. So my coaches and their coaches' coaches and their coaches' coaches, like for example, Christy is one of my personally sponsored coaches. Sarah is not one of my personally sponsored coaches, but she's one of my coaches' coaches. And Kim is below Sarah. So all of what they do does benefit me. I don't make commission off of them, but basically Beachbody rewards me based on how well my team is doing. And you can make up to $12,000 per week in Team Cycle bonus alone in one business center. And as you grow your business, you can have up to 25 business centers. So if you can do the math on that, I mean, that's why there's certain coaches that have been doing this business for 5 years and are millionaires. So the potential is great. And there also is quarterly bonuses they offer to people once they get to a certain rank, they call it, which we won't go into detail about that, but the quarterly bonuses are fantastic. And for some of the higher paying coaches, it's $40,000 every quarter, but even the first time you hit it, it's like an $800 bonus, which is awesome. So it's just one of those things where the potential is great. We have less than a minute left, so I'm sorry about that. So what we're going to do is open up any questions in the event. Obviously, the coach that invited you to the call will follow up with you. There's not pressure on this in any way, shape, or form, but we do want to offer the opportunity, because I will tell you what, if my upline coach had not invited me, I don't know where my life would be right now, because I certainly wouldn't be living in Michigan. That was a dream, is moving back to Michigan. We wouldn't have moved back here. I don't think, well, obviously we had no choice in the matter. Having a fourth kid, it just happened, but we were like never going to consider having a fourth child if we didn't have the extra income. Now we do. And we're sending our kids to private schools and all these different